bigger, badder, Terrifier. Anyways, it's here, folks. We got Terrifier 2. How you doing, Art? I'm doing pretty good. Well, he doesn't say that at all, would he? Anyways, so it is here, Terrifier 2. Your boy's super stoked. Just left the theater. I just wanted to hop in and give you my first thoughts, my initial thoughts. A quick review of the movie. No spoilers, though. Like my shirt, boom, let's go. I'm going to see it again tomorrow night, probably, and then for sure, definitely on Saturday night with the boys. Man, I'll be real honest. I was a little nervous going in with the runtime being what it was. But after sitting down and, being excited, my nerves kind of wearing off, about the first 20 minutes of it, you're kind of thinking like, okay, where's this going? And then the pace starts to pick up. Now, it wasn't ever like, breakneck speed paced, but the pacing is very important in a movie of this length, and they did a good job with it. It was paced well, and it wasn't, it didn't feel like work to sit there and watch the movie. It went by quick, and when it was over with, I thought, wow, that's what 2.5 hours feels like, huh? On a movie like this. Because I've seen movies where 2.5 hours feels, like a Marvel movie, for instance, there's a lots of peaks and valleys in those. And there's points in the movie where you're just like, oh, can we get on with it? I didn't personally feel that in this movie. I think that that's probably going to be very subjective. A lot of people are going to probably feel different about that than I do. But I do feel that if you're a fan of the first movie, that this might even be an improvement upon. I don't think that I'll like it better than the first movie for some time, maybe mainly because I have a soft spot for the first movie. It is my favorite movie. It's going to be hard to take the crown from that one, So overall, I think that this movie set some new precedents. I think that we now have the ability to have an independent horror movie come out and do things that before now they couldn't have done. This movie is unedited. It is unrated. It is not being brought to you by some giant mega studio. That's important because they were able to bring us the movie that they wanted. Now, I will say this is actually a bold statement. I told my wife when I got home, I think had it been any less of a movie, like if it wasn't 2 hours and 28 minutes long, I would have been displeased because they gave you character building that they didn't give you in the first movie. And I think that's going to be divisive, and some people are not going to like it, some people are. I liked it because I want more art to clown, but the movie was really long, so we got plenty of it. I think if they were to shorten the movie, it probably would have taken art to clown out of it some more. If they didn't do that because they didn't want to upset the fans, they would have taken out some of the character building. I do believe now, after seeing this movie, that they gave us the right movie. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I believe that this was about as good as you can get with a movie like this because there is a certain amount of just cheeky fun they were having. Violence for violence sake. The kills in this movie were absolutely insane. Like, I don't know how you can beat this. There was some cool animatronic stuff that was done. I'd say for modern practical effects movies, this is probably top tier for me. I might be missing something, but this is definitely up there with the King of Kings in the modern practical effects era. I literally was comparing it with some of the stuff I saw in The Thing. No, it's not as the Thing had only practical effects to work with, so they had to do certain things with movements and such. And I mean, even they had a little bit of CGI in The Thing. So at least that's what I'm pretty sure was when the guy's arms went in, right? That wasn't all. Anyways, I haven't thought of that in a while. I don't want to argue with people. I'm not trying to diss anything. I'm just trying to compare this to something else that's clearly objectively great. Yeah, I don't know. This movie just made my whole day, man. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of the people that made this. I'm so happy for David and Damien and everybody involved. I'd really like to get a hold of some of the other actors from this movie and talk with them one of these days. I'll be sending some emails and messages out to those folks because I just want to talk to them about their experience. This movie was crazy, dude. It was big. It was bold. It was in your face. It was like maybe a total of 5 minutes that I can see where you could cut it out to shave off some of the runtime. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was told that some people had paid enough money, or not paid enough, but like, donated enough to the movie's funds to get in the movie to be killed. And I think part of what I'm thinking of was that. I could be wrong about that. That's what I'm speculating. So it wouldn't be cool to take that out, because that's dishonorable. And I think that, I don't know, I think this was a pretty awesome movie, man. I'm really happy. I'm like kind of emotional, because I was keeping up this front that I was positive it was going to be awesome. But inside I thought, okay, there's a chance I don't like this. Of course there is. It's a movie. Like, David told me I was going to love it. I trust him. But at the same time, dude, like, I remember having records that came out of our favorite bands. I'm telling my friend, you're going to love this album. I give it to them, and they're just like, that's super mid, bro. I mean, they said mid back then. This is whack or whatever. But yeah, man, Terrifier 2, the acting was on spot, dude. Like, it was on point. I don't know why I said on spot. The acting was on point. I think David Howard Thornton has created a space for himself in horror and film. He'll never have to work a regular job again, I don't think. I think that he's made it now, man, because if nothing else, he can do the circuit of all the cons and stuff and make a living. I mean, dude, if after you see this, you don't think that Art the Clown deserves to be up there with the other icons, then I just would have to respectfully disagree. I'm not going to argue with anybody. You're entitled to your own opinion, but like, I would be a little curious as to why. I mean, this movie right here, I think the first one, that's his third movie, is the first one, first Terrifier. I think that warrants a space in, the pantheon of the horror icons, man. And so this movie here, bro, I don't know. I'm trying to not spoil anything, so I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about it. But the movie was excellent. David Howard Thornton was just amazing in this movie. The other actors were great as well. I think that the writing was done really well. The dialogue was okay. I'm trying to think of what I would actually critique, like negatively. I think the mom was a little unlikable, but I think that was intentional. I think you're supposed to understand she's going through some stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's little bits here and there that I think they could have improved upon, but I don't know how they would have necessarily done it. But I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5 stars for the time being. Possibly going to move it up to 4.5. I got to watch it another time or two. And I think we're going to discuss this in detail in a couple of weeks. So we'll be back for that. I might just do a live stream where I talk about it, or I might do it on Shopcast or whatever. But for a non-spoilery review, initial thoughts, I had a blast. I'm gonna do another video on this after Saturday when I watch it again, and I'll do like a full-on review of the movie where I'll talk about some of the plot points and things. But for now, I just want everybody to know that the movie's great. Go out and see it. Support this film if you can. The runtime zips right by. The kills are insane, better than anything I've ever seen. I believe. I can't think of any kills in a movie, especially as like a whole. Like, there might be a kill in a movie that I thought was like equally as cool. Like, I do particularly like the one where Jason Voorhees takes the girl in the sleeping bag and smacks her against a tree. But I mean, that wasn't near as cool as some of the stuff they were doing in this movie. There's just banana stuff happening throughout this entire film. So they pull no punches in Terrifier 2. So go out and see it, love it, enjoy it, and have a great weekend, everybody. Halloween is coming, so stay safe out there with your family and friends and have a good time, okay? We'll see you soon. Peace.